I returned to Japan recently after 32 years away and really worried before I left how things would have changed, because even in the United States, things have changed generationally, right? I speak fluent Japanese, but I had no idea. And I've seen so many videos about foreigners going over there and some hardened hearts and racism and different things like that. So I really wondered, and I'll also share my experiences from when I lived in Japan. I lived in Japan twice as a young woman. I actually came of age in Japan, and I've spoken Japanese most of my life, so I have different perspectives on it. This time was my first time being a tourist, and I'm going to say it was only for a couple of days, but I was I was so happy to be back in Japan. I miss my family. I want to bring them with me next time. But I'm going to tell you, when it comes to the experience of racism that some people were talking about, like the gaijin seed, which never happened to me and my buddy when we were there this time. Before, I have other stories to talk about when I was younger. But the most racism I experienced in Japan this last time was actually from foreigners, foreign tourists visiting Japan. Once I was standing on the elevator in my beautiful hotel near Asakusa, and there were about 6 Germans in the elevator with me, and I have friends from Germany. I've been to Germany before, but also like 30 some years ago, so some things may have changed. But I'm almost 60 years old, and I dropped my card, my room card, and not one of them wanted to help me. I waited a second because I was in a lot of pain. Not one of them wanted to help me. I had to angle, kind of laugh it off a bit, pick it up myself. In a lot of pain, not one person helped me. I was like, okay. And this is in Tokyo. Second thing happened, same trip, just a couple of weeks ago. My friend and I were on the tour bus, the one that goes all around Japan, the hop on, hop off bus, after waiting hours and having gotten lost that day and walked so much that I was in serious pain. I'm kind of going through some things physically, but good mood, but serious pain. And a Chinese American woman and her husband, who is either European or American, I think he was American, they tried to bogart when we were standing up to get off the bus. And I just took my time because I was in pain. And they bogarted my friend and separated us. But when I had to step down off the steps, the Chinese American woman started pushing me in my back. I had to stop and ask her to please stop pushing me, where she went and said, I'm sorry. But we weren't in a rush. And I just remember once we got down the stairs, her husband gave me the meanest look. And I'm going, what is this? Your wife was pushing on me. Anyway, those 2 experiences. And yes, I experienced some when I was a young woman in Japan also. I remember a Jewish American woman who told my friend who was Mormon, it's just a friend, we're all friends hanging out, expats in Tokyo and all. He told me later on, he said, Jenny, be careful of Judy, because she told me, she wondered why I thought you were pretty, because you're black. How could a black person be pretty? That sort of thing. Exporting racism to Japan, a homogenous society that needs to learn for itself how people are all different and all the same. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I said I'd go and comment on that, and I have more insights when it comes to that also. But bottom line, the most racism I experienced in Japan was not from Japanese people.